just plays the linebacker position more like a defensive tackle, but with speed and athleticism.
So the run stopper.
Yeah. Ball State cornerback Josh Miller. He had himself, I don't think I'd say the best season. He didn't record only one interception as a corner. But his tackling is not too bad for a corner. He had reached 7 tackles in a game multiple times. Only a few games where he recorded less than 3 tackles. So for a corner, that's not too horribly bad. But now we're getting to the real knight in shining armor of MAC defensive players. And that is Northern Illinois defensive end, Sutton Smith. Sutton is an absolute monster. Let's count up these sacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5, 11.5, 12, 13, 14 sacks he had last season. Tackles, he didn't have a game worse than 2 tackles at defensive end. They're more of the pass rush than a run stopper. So,
they have him projected as going potentially the first overall next year. He's Sutton. I mean, they're saying that defensive end, you could see 2 in the top 5, and it's between Sutton and Bosa. And I mean, there's a guy in the MAC getting compared to arguably one of the best defensive linemen in a Power 5 conference.
Exactly.
So, I mean, the kid's not a slouch.
No, he's fantastic. And he is going to be, like I said, the knight in shining armor for this conference that makes it not such a joke.
No, I mean, when you have athletes like that, I mean, thankfully Conference USA and MAC both have 2 players that they can really focus around. Like, what was that dog crap that we talked about the other week? Like, they don't have anybody.
No.
They don't have anybody that stands out as a star. At least Conference USA has Singletary. These guys have Sutton. Like, those guys alone will be able to carry your conference that will make people want to watch.
Absolutely. And I'm excited to watch MAC football. It's one of my favorite conferences to watch. Cause
it's one of my favorite on a Thursday night.
I mean...
Or a Wednesday.
Or a Tuesday. Or when you're at that weird, none of the good games have come on at noon yet on Saturday.
Yeah, or a Friday night game. They're usually good for a good marquee Friday, too.
Yeah. Prediction. Central Michigan defeats Akron in the MAC championship game. I think Central Michigan is going to end up 9-10 wins. And I think that they could be a real team to watch out for this season.
I'm going with Buffalo.
Buffalo!
Because they're the only one that doesn't make sense why they're even there. They don't have an Ohio or Michigan in their name.
Well, Northern Illinois. And Ball State's in Indiana.
Those are close enough.
And isn't Bowling... Oh, no, that's Bowling Green, Ohio, not Kentucky. Let's see. See the rest of the teams going back. Toledo, Kent... Okay, all right.
Kent's in Ohio.
Yeah. So Buffalo, Buffalo.
Buffalo's the only one that they're like, you're near a Great Lakes, so you count.
Yeah. You're touching. You're touching like cousins. You're touching.
Yeah. I mean, technically, if we took a boat, it would take us less time.
It's a good point. It's a good point. All right, guys.
That's what they ever thought about doing. At some point, like in the existence of the conference, they were like, you know what? It might be faster to get there by boat.
Let's try it.
Like, it's a lot better than a bus.
Yeah, it is. All right, guys. Anything more about the MAC?
Not at this moment.
Okay.
See how it plays out.
All right. Next week, I'm actually going... I've reconsidered the rankings. So, next week, we're going to talk Mountain West. I'm sorry, not Mountain West. We're going to talk American.
Okay.
Then we're going to talk Big 12. And
then Mountain West is going in front of the Big 12.
Yes, because they play offense, they play defense. in my opinion, they're just a better conference.
I get it. Listen. If we could put the Big 12 further down, I'd be even more thrilled.
Yeah.
I just don't think we can do it.
No, because you still have teams like Oklahoma and Oklahoma State that are just going to rain on everyone's parade.
Fair.
All right, so this concludes most of what we're talking about this week in sports history. As always, found our information for This Week in Sports History on onthisday.com. On this day, July 10th, 1914, Boston Red Sox purchased Babe Ruth from the Baltimore Orioles. They purchased him.
No.
Moving up the ladder.
Just purchasing people.
Yeah.
Just buying people.
Yes, that's not problematic.
And then on the same day, the highest paid athlete that's ever been individually in sports gets purchased by another team. Actually, just the right to his contract got purchased. Soccer is obnoxious.
Soccer is obnoxious.
I'm going to give you $110 million so I can take that $60-something million contract a year off your hands. Oh, okay, sure.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Neither do I.
But anyways, guys,
Europeans are weird.
it's been a fun show.
I had a good time.
Yeah, I had a great time. I love your rants, Tony.
Lot covered.
We did, yeah, and we didn't go too far over our time.
No, I mean, especially seeing as we had to do 2 conferences, it wasn't bad.
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah, so if you want to get us on Twitter, we're at DanDanTony. If you want to get us on Facebook, DanDanTony Sports. If you want to send us an email, feel free to, or DanDanTonySports@gmail.com. For Dan, Tony, and Dan, have a good night.